Greetings YouTube. Today I'm going to take a look at a Metabo angle grinder, but the first thing we're going to look at is the case. I love this case. I didn't know it had a case. I just bought it, pulled it off the shelf, brought it home, opened the thing up, and I'm like, wow, that's the first one I've encountered. And I own several angle grinders, and this is the first one that came literally out of the box with a really nice quality, comfortable case to carry it with. So if I ever have to take an angle grinder someplace, this is going to be the one that comes with me because it's got a nice case. Got a outrigger type handle, wrench, came with 5 grinding discs, which was nice. It also means you have space for storing your own particular selection of discs. For example, you could grinding discs, cut-off discs, flapped wheels. You can fit those in there super easy. I haven't tried putting the unit back in here with a disc installed. I haven't tried that yet. Don't know how well that fits. Okay, so here is the tool in question. I had never owned a Metabo. This is it says HPT, but it wasn't overly heavy. It was 4 pounds, which is something I like. It came with, again, the nice thing, it's pretty standard in many ways for your angle grinder. It wasn't overly expensive. I think it was 50 bucks. Yeah, I think it was 50 bucks. I picked it up at, I believe, Home Depot. And I'm impressed with something I'd never considered before. Now, you got 2 other angle grinders on this. This is my go-to because it's compact and it weighs less than 4 pounds. Okay, this is my DeWalt. I love this thing. This is the first one I ever purchased. I didn't know much about angle grinders, but it served me literally from more than 15 years, and it's going to continue to serve me. I see no reason to take it out of my selection, and eventually I will explain why if you follow my channel. The one thing I do love about this thing, and it's got a ridiculously long cord. I mean, this cord is just monstrously long, which I really loved, and I'm sad that that neither of these 2 angle grinders, this one or this one, have a cord quite that long. That's the real only downside. Pretty standard plug, nothing to write home about. You have to have tools if you want to change the orientation on your guard. If you notice it right now, you can see I pretty much keep all of the guards in exactly the same location, position. That's just the position that works for me. So having to adjust it and keeping it there isn't an issue. The DeWalt has a no tool adjustment, which is a nice feature in case you are somebody out there that does need to do that on a regular basis. So this one, you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. I think it was the number 2. Here's your stop for changing the blade. Pretty straightforward, nothing all that special there. Got a couple of mounting holes for that little outrigger handle that comes with, which something I don't use. I mean, this one's got the same thing, don't use it. This one's got the same thing, I don't use those. Though these are nice and perpendicular, that may help me in the future. This has a slight angle, just like the Ryobi does. And I don't use them, so I don't know a lot of people who do, quite frankly. I just don't find that I need it in the way I use the tool. But using the tool, I really like the fact that this thing has got a square profile down here. It's not super sharp square, but it's square. And I find I really like the way that fits my hand. It gives me a very positive sense of position. I mean, yeah, the other ones, they're cylindrical, and I didn't notice it until I tried this one. And then suddenly I'm like, hey, you know, I really like this. I like the fact that I can feel edge alignment, essentially. You're talking about, if you're into swords, you know what edge alignment is, or knives. That's what you're talking about. You hold this in your hand, you know exactly where everything is, and that's a feature I'd never considered, but I quite frankly think it is that other manufacturers are dropping the ball on that one, because that is a feature that I think is really useful. Really, really useful. One that many other grinders could take a hint from. I like that feature a great deal. The one thing I don't like about this thing is the switch. Now the switch takes down and in. It takes a fair amount of force. It's nicely buried, so you're not going to have to worry about it, you know, going off casually while you're running it. And it sticks proud, so that's not an issue. But you have to kind of go down and in. And I find that you're watching me struggle with this. I find it difficult because I have arthritis. These 2 are much easier. That's how easy it is to go on. The same thing with the Ryobi. With this one, it's more difficult. It's also thinner. So I would have appreciated that the plastic was a little thicker on this. My only concern is that this may cause me a problem in the future. I've only had it for a few weeks now, but I'm really liking the overall operation, so that's why I'm doing the review now. So yeah, I think they need to up their game on their switch design. that to me is they kind of dropped the ball on that one. But this squarish profile, awesome. I think everybody should have this. It really gives me a positive sense of where the tool is, which I greatly appreciate. And at 50 bucks with a nice case, this is, I think, a really good entry-level style of angle grinder. I think this is very, if you're going to only ever own one and you're going to be using it, 4 times a year, this could probably cover everything you're ever going to need, and you can take it to your friend's place to help them with they're doing something, and you have a case to carry it in, everything in one location, you spray paint it so somebody knows it's yours, you're good to go. So I really like this Metabo. I'm impressed with the overall quality, with the exception of that switch right there. I don't know if anyone else has ever had any long-term problems with one of these switches. If you have, I would love to know. I don't know. And I don't know anything about other Metabo tools. But I can tell you, in the future, I may look into them simply because, well, I like doing reviews anyway. But I'm also always looking for a good tool that will serve my needs if I find myself in the need of a tool. So this has been the Metabo corded angle grinder. I'm really happy with it, and I think that you might be too.